In just a matter of minutes and a few hair-raising centimetres, world history and potentially the result of the entire US election all changed. Donald Trump is now on course to resume life at the White House as US president after a week like no other in American politics. US correspondent Jonathan Kearsley has been following history unfolding in fast motion.
Deb, it really does feel like the phrase "a week is a long time in politics" was coined exactly for seven-day blocks like the one we've just seen here in the United States of America. It started with Joe Biden's mental capacity being put under the blowtorch after a disastrous speech and press conference. And it ended with Donald Trump triumphantly accepting the Republican nomination in Milwaukee. In between, well, the historic matter of the former president dodging an assassin's bullet. Yep, it's been quite the week, even by the standards here.
Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene.
There were the shots that echoed around the world.
There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side.
I can't believe that anything can happen to him. I thought he was, nothing would ever happen to him.
I mean, I started crying. I mean, people were crying, were hugging.
There's no place in America for this kind of violence, for any violence, ever.
Donald Trump's supporters say the bullet that almost killed the former president is now his ticket to a second term.
Not even an assassin's bullet could stop him.
With a bandaged ear and that familiar fist pump, Donald Trump has created a frenzy among his supporters who welcome this as a sign of strength.
I'm wearing this to stand in solidarity with my president, Donald J. Trump.
No matter what obstacle comes our way, we will not break, we will not bend, we will not back down.
At a time, President Joe Biden's perceived weakness is in the spotlight.
A bullet couldn't stop Trump. A virus just stopped Biden.
You look at one of the main criticisms of President Biden is that he may be frail, he may be elderly, and here's Donald Trump, who literally took a bullet to his head.
The attempted assassination on Donald Trump came just days before the Republican convention.
And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again.
Inside that Milwaukee Convention Center, there were plenty of support acts.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for the most patriotic American badass on earth, President Donald J. Trump.
Vice President nominee J.D. Vance, who once described the former president as America's Hitler.
When Donald Trump rose to his feet in that Pennsylvania field, all of America stood with him.
And there was Donald Jr.
What was my father's instinct as his life was on the line? Not to cower, not to surrender, but to show for all the world to see that the next American president has the heart of a lion.
But this was the main event. Donald Trump accepting the Republican nomination.
I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States. Thank you.
And detailing his close escape for the very first time.
If I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark, and I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. No.
And while Trump was back on his feet, his opponent's political future is on unsteady ground. Another headwind for the Democrats, struggling with their own internal indecision and division.
More Democrats seem to be getting cold feet over President Biden's re-election campaign.
Among them, former President Barack Obama. Joe Biden was his vice president, and just weeks ago, Obama led the 81-year-old off stage at a fundraiser. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Democrat leader Chuck Schumer have both had blunt conversations with Joe Biden, who has lost the support of Hollywood star George Clooney, who says, "We are not going to win in November with this president."
Our party, the Democrat Party, is like a dead man walking.
The president still has his supporters.
I mean, I think President Biden is the strongest candidate the Democrats have.
He is 50,000 times better than Trump.
Look, I'm only 3 years older than Trump, okay? And I think I'm in a little better physical shape than he is.
In a country of 330 million people, the battle to call this place home has been between a 78-year-old convicted criminal and an 81-year-old who's having the screws turned on him by senior people inside his own party. And the clock really is ticking for Joe Biden to make a call on his own political future. The days ahead could provide crucial answers as the Democrats fight to keep Donald Trump out of the White House.
And it might not be long, with reports the president could soon be convinced to pull out of the presidential race.
So I better finish strong, otherwise we'll blow it, and we can't let that happen.
Yeah, what a wild and dramatic week it has been, and it is not over yet. Strap yourselves in. A lot more could happen between now and the US election in November.